And as soon as we are ready, guys, I'm going to give the teams the go-ahead now. Yep, there we go. I like these guys. They're already probably the most cooperative teams so far today. Alright, here we go. Elementalist versus Engineers. This is the grand final of the Guild Clash / SOAC Gaming Profession Tournament here in Europe. Your Elementalists will be taking on your Engineers on the red side. Here we go. Obviously, that massive amount of swiftness, a minute and a half coming out for the Rangers is going to give them the mobility advantage here. We're seeing them zip ahead of the Engineers, setting one person to their henge, obviously. Another one looks like he's going to, another two actually are going to come across here. One like going into keep, while the other two go up and around the back to keep. We do have one Engineer coming into counter a bit. Right here, he is going to be engaging. And then we have more coming up around the back in terms of the Engineer-wise. But no one else the Engineer will be on point initially, which will give the Elementalists a bit of a cap advantage as we get started here. But we do have Cat McKit coming in now, taking a look at his build. Immediately popping that net turret ability as well as throwing the net turret out itself. But he does get knocked down there by the Elementalist, so he's going to be a bit of trouble with that. It wasn't used properly though, so he is back in. And we actually have AoE stealth go out because of that smoke bomb field, along with the blast finisher that came out through the bomb. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but nonetheless, they are doing a pretty hefty amount. Look at these conditions.
He's getting loaded by conditions.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna die now.
We have Jin getting extremely low here. Chunji over here also did go down because of the conditions from the Elementals. However, the Elementals themselves are being pretty susceptible to the conditions, but once again, as I discussed, those cleansing waves are crucial to keeping themselves alive, and they're using it extremely well with their AoEs, fire ores, and everything. It's just a particle fireworks show as we go through right now, and because of all the Engineers standing on point here compared to where they could have had a few off point and maybe rotated them off, it really just allowed the Elementals to sort of AoE them down pretty quickly.
They also did a great job at rotating in and out of the fight. This is one of the things you don't see that much by the play. Like pulling out, waiting for cooldowns, waiting for your heal, and then just re-engage. Because it's that much stronger than just dying on point and giving some free damage on your teammates while they try to rescue, for example.
Indeed. And we still have Kuroshi, of course, aggressing the far point as he has been doing throughout basically this entire tournament. He did just take down Bloody Trash. Because there are 3 Elementals here, he's not going to be able to take him down, and he's going to be forced to retreat. No surprise there.
Nice block there, turning out though.
Yeah, indeed.
But he won't make it out, I think.
I don't think he is going to either. They're going to take him down now, and as they bring him back into this, he will be knocked out pretty quickly. Looking over now, let's jump back over to the keep where we still have a bit of a fight engaged over there. Three Engineers taking on Jindy here, who will be knocked out.
4 Engineers.
Yeah, 4 Engineers actually. And we have another Elementalist that's going to come in and try to res. Not the best idea in my opinion. He's going to miss res, but it's not going to be enough. With 3 members now of the Elementalist team, there's going to be 2 here now, or 4 members of the Engineer team trying to damage him down, especially with grenades and mobs. He's not really going to be able to hold off too well against that. He'll be knocked out pretty quickly here. But however, as we're seeing here now, the fight has turned around a bit. Engineer Platypus and Cat McKin are down directly on top of each other. So it looks like this fight is going to rotate into the Elementalist favor. Nicely done indeed by the Elementalists. And as we see over here on the Henge.
They got 9 and 10.
Indeed, yeah. Nice job by the Elementals. They've capped both the side points. It looks like they're going to get the middle point as well here now. No, we did have Chunchi come in to contest, and he's actually doing a pretty nice job. A very nice job, actually, chaining out Easy Boss with that immobilized combo. Excellently done. Easy Boss will get knocked out here, and the control will transfer back to the Engineer team in just a few minutes. Back over to the mine. We do have Red Team starting direct control over that. As the
Ginny is coming in on keep. He's probably preventing them from capping it. The Engineer.
And we had another flip-flop, actually. And no, I'm sorry. Cancel what I just said. We have Chunji once again holding off Jinji, so the minute is going to be held off for a little bit longer here. Very even games so far. Red team close, our Engineer team only behind by about 4 points to the blue team's 102 points. They're doing an amazing job. We do have Elementals have superior control on the middle in terms of man-wise. Back over here at the Hens, though, taking a look at what we have going on over there. It looks like a 1v1, just to confirm. Let me jump in here. Yep. Bloody Trash taking on Kuroshi. Again, no 2v1 actually in favor of the Elementals, but Kuroshi's doing an excellent job holding off this 2v1. He's not going to be able to last forever, though, and he's about to go down here as the 3rd Elementalist joins the fight in the favor of
2v3 going on keep, though. Cop is really low. He's dropping now. Let's see, he's missed forming off point. That's a good idea. That's a nice choice to make.
And Elementals are actually going to abandon middle fight, realizing a 3v2 is not in their best interest. They'll be getting out of there, falling back to what looks like they're going to the beach, actually, and possibly to move over to mine from there. Yep, they're going to do a bit of a long path, but it's somewhat of a wraparound to sort of catch his enemies off guard a little bit there. And we're actually seeing we're seeing 4 Elementalists, I think, all going for the mine. We have 1 here. He will get intercepted by those 2 Engineers here, but there is another 3 that will be going on to the mine point now. And no, he does manage to get away from those 2 Engineers chasing him, so they're going to have a bit of free time to try and take down Draco Dustslicker. The question is, can they do it fast enough. We have these two engineers coming in now to the fight. Draco Dustlinger taking a lot of damage here. He may go down, but we do have the support coming in from the other engineers as well, and being knocked out all over the place by Draco Dustlinger. Does manage to pop his healing turn down just in time, as well as his supply crate. Excellent job by Dustlinger, negating a lot of that burst and keeping himself alive in this match here. And as we're seeing once more, just the general AoE from the engineers is absolutely destroying the Elementalist team here.
They clustered up a bit too much, in my opinion. They did it for the heals, but it kind of backfired for them because they got loaded by condition.
They did manage to negate it, though. They have all 5 of them have survived that the fight over here at it by proper utilization of their cleansing waves and stuff. Jindy is unfortunately getting extremely low here because of that burst, and he is going to be left behind to die here at this point.
They're rotating out. They're reinforcing hand, which I don't know. They lost the mind fight because of that, and they got, well, I think one stomp.
I think
they got stumped.
I think they're trying to be careful with Kuroshi over here because he's been proven a very effective counterpoint this whole game so far. So I really think they're just being careful with him. They don't want to lose that close point, and they may be over devoting themselves to the close point a little bit, which is sort of costing them team fights and whatnot.
That's true. But 3 people is overcommitting. I think what they want to do is trying to use their superior mobility on this map, which nearly paid out for them. Just nearly. They got 1 kill on keep, but the engineers made it in on time, and they got two kills, 2 down. So let's see how they can recover from that. And I don't see anyone going for the bosses at all, which is a good idea if you respawn and want to have the action, the upcoming fight. Like if you lost a fight and you just go for the boss. Once it's security closed. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see that coming now.
Well, you know,
the engineers are pretty aggressive, actually.
Engineer Platypus is actually a monster at the moment. He's managed to get a full 25 stack on his corruption, so I don't believe he's died this entire game as of yet. Looking at the 25 stack, but we do have the engineers sort of being ousted out of the henge at the moment. A lot of them trying to stay alive here as they move away. It doesn't look like they're sort of trying to engage us, but unfortunately Chunji will be getting taken down here by all 5 members of the. Oh no, a knockback will come in. Unfortunately, Easy Boss had that misform enabled already. We're just going to allow him to get that stop off anyway. Other members of the engineer team are piling in now, including NG Platypus here. And no, it looks like he was just sort of trying to harass a little bit there, so he will be falling back now.
But that might backfire for them if the allies are playing it right. But we're committing again, I think.
I can definitely agree with you. They're definitely appearing to devote a little bit too much effort to the back points here, and it's costing them valuable time, which they don't really need to waste back there. They did have 2 there, so they could have kept 3 or 4 there, but having all 5 of your members, even though it was directly next to your spawn, come back there, you maybe could have sent one out the right door and go for mine or something else. But anyway, as we go once more into the middle point here, the Elementals, once more both sides actually are suffering pretty heavily from conditions. It was initially the engineers, but looking at looking at the status now, just all these conditions is crazy coming out on the Elementals because they all need to be on the point to do their sufficient amount of damage. It's melting them. They are managing to negate it pretty nicely though. Nenji Platypus does finally go down here. Knockbacks are happening, up traps all over the place here, and we are going to see Cobb stomp out Platypus here, so we will finally die in this game. And it looks like because of this excellent burst that came in here out of nowhere from the Elementalist team, they are going to come in and take this middle point. Excellent job, the Elementalists.
And Engineers made one mistake again, in my opinion. They have Dustslinger going for Swanee instead of reinforcing keep. So they were fighting a 3-4 on keep, and they are bound to lose that.
Indeed. Back over to the henge here, taking a look real quick here. Bloody Kuroshi once again 1v1ing against Trash. I don't think Kuroshi's going to be able to take this, unfortunately, as pretty soon here the Elementalist will see absolute control now.
He will get the decap, though, I think, on the long run, because of the knockbacks he has. It's really hard for the ally to keep him, to stay on point again.
He almost got... No, I don't think he will, actually, because he got pretty close to getting... There was a port back on the point there, but I think now that the sports come in, they are going to maintain that point. The question is, will they overcommit again to this back point? It doesn't look like they will, actually, as they are prepping now. They have 3 back here now, but they already are realizing this. They're sending 1 back over to the keep now, as we do have more threats coming in from the bottom. Looks like they're going to try to surround middle point here, as we're seeing now. 1 coming over from the right side, 1 coming over from the left side here. They're sort of surrounding, and they need to get their Elementalists, even though they still have 2 at henge trying to take care of Kuroshi. That may not be necessary. Just leave 1 there and get the other out of there, in my opinion. But we are going to see now another even fight here, 3v3 conditions once again all over the Elementals. Everyone on the Elementals team is suffering, especially Jindy here, really getting melted down. Look at all these conditions all over him, not even able to... not even able to stand a chance, has to pop his mist form to get back on point here. 2 stacks, just really just murdering him, even in the mist form here. Not really able to do much, unfortunately, because of the fact that just all those conditions really just destroy the Elementalists, especially if they can't cleanse them.
I think Easy Boss should just pull up instead of trying to rest. I'm not sure if he can make it now. Oh, he's probably gonna die. Also for the engineers, if they time their confusion and their condition unload correctly on one of the alleys, once they blow water attunement, they lack condition clearing. So confusion, once the alley has swapped into water and used his cleansing away, maybe cover it up with some bleeds, and he's gonna kill himself so hard on confusion.
So we are seeing the scores overall here. We are seeing the Engineer team getting very close to victory. Only 45 points until they win this first round. The Elementalist team still has a chance, but they need to work extremely hard, especially on boss kills, if they do want to come back. They're still 150 points away, and we're going to need to see some serious decapping here in the next few seconds if the Elementalists want to win this round. And it does look like the Elementalists are shifting their priorities sort of over to the mine now once more. Not the smartest choice, again, in my opinion, because of the fact that they're so close to victory. I don't think they have enough time to push over to this mine point if they wish. And really, the Engineers can sort of see them running across the middle there, like we just saw. So they really not the smartest choice in my opinion. And unfortunately, I think it is going to cost them, as now the Engineers in about 5 seconds here will take round 1, and will bring them that much closer to ultimate victory.
It was a close game, though.
It was a pretty close, but the closest we've seen all day, in all honesty. This is definitely going to be an interesting matchup, and it's definitely the sign of a pretty good matchup so far. So I don't really think we can call this just yet.
No, we can't. The Ellies could have paid a bit more attention to the neutrals, in my opinion, and they could have used their mobility a bit more in those fights, because like Lightning Flash and Ride the Lightning is so much. So they could fake a push, for example, on mine, and then just collapse on keep.
Alright, so once again, we are on Legacy the Foefire for round 2. Keep in mind, this is the final. This is a best of 5, guys. So it's not if the Engineers win this one, they will not win it yet. They'll still need to win a 3rd round if they want to take this victory. Whereas the Elementalists still have plenty of chances to bring themselves back into this and even out the score. Once again, real quick, and I know I've done this a few times already today, let's just go over the map while we wait for everybody to join and ready up. This is Legacy of the Foefire, probably the largest Guild Wars 2 SPVP map. The 3 capture points are in a straight line direction, which makes it a little hard to circumnavigate between far points. However, it is pretty much a direct route from middle to the side points if you would like to go that route. So controlling middle is definitely key here if your team wants to have superior mobility between the points. But we have seen teams generally dominate by holding side points as well, even though it's a lot harder to do. Keep in mind, once again with the secondary objectives, there is a Lord spawn for the red team here and a Lord spawn for the blue team right here. If red team kills blue team's Lord, then red team will get 150 points, and if blue team kills red team Lord, they will get 150 out of the 500 points they need, which is a huge amount of points. And that's Legacy of the Foefire. So we are ready to go. And as soon as all the teams are ready, they're probably discussion about strategy right now. But the Engineer team is ready, and as soon as the Elementalists get ready and discuss themselves, we'll get right into round 2, guys. Engineers versus Elementalists. And once again, I do have a scrolling bar at the bottom now. You should remember to follow at SOAC Gaming as well as at Guild Clash for future updates on events like this and other tournaments as well. We all like to host tournaments as well. Don't forget to follow this channel.
Starts soon.
Yeah. So here we go, guys. I don't have to self-plug things anymore because we don't have to waste time anymore. So here we go. Getting into round 2 now. Engineers versus Elementalists for the grand final of the SOAC Profession Tournament. And here we go. 3 seconds to launch. Swift is obviously going out on the Elementalist team. No surprise there. They'll have that additional mobility advantage. The Engineers, however, most of them do have speedy kits equipped, so they'll be able to move with swiftness regardless. Looks like 3 Elementalists will be going for Graveyard, none going to cross over to Core, so Engineers will get a free cap there. But we do have what appears to be possibly 1 Engineer going for the Waterfall to stop that cap, more than like with Sir Kuroshi again. But we do have the 3-on-3 even on this mid fight. Now I do think the Engineers are going to have a bit of a tougher time knocking out the Elementalists like before, especially in middle, because this is such a larger point. If the Elementalists should have a much easier time spreading out. We do still see, now don't get me wrong, we do still see the conditions flowing out on them, but it's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be a lot harder for Engineers to sort of focus them down like they have been. And the same thing for the Elementalists as well in the Engineers.
Are they actually trying to go for the rest? But I'm not sure if this is smart. That will take too much free damage a month.
Yeah, and they're actually no. He's gonna pop his mist form, moving away here from his opponents now, and it actually looks like I could have been entirely wrong here because we are still seeing engineers come out pretty confidently on top here. On this middle point now, Katas being knocked out, and there's only really one person left on here. So I could say almost that the advantage has turned against the Elementalists here, because both teams rely heavily on that AoE damage, in my opinion. But unfortunately for the Elementals, I think they rely on it a little bit more than the Engineers do, because the Engineers still has a pretty good amount of direct damage that they can throw out, especially through conditions, which, well, again, once they're out of water form, the Elementals can't really do anything about unless they're running with Ether Renewal. So they are going to have a tougher time with that, in my opinion.
I think the Allies made some mistakes by trying to rest and not putting pressure on. I think there was one engineer standing on high ground spamming grenades, so they should put one ally to put pressure on him, so he has a harder time putting pressure in the team fight. I think one of the entities dropped. Yeah, one of them dropped actually.
And we are going to see Elementals conducting here. Kates is actually still up, sort of in the corner over here. I don't know if the engineer team sees him. Looks like Platypus does, yeah. So they're sort of just going to let him bleed out. He's actually a good move there going on in the middle point to stop Caps. Over here at the waterfall, though, keep in mind that the Elementals do still, at the moment, at least for the next few seconds, they're the only ones that control a point, which cancel what I just said, because Kuroshi, I always say things at the worst times, Kuroshi just managed to decap that point due to his knockbacks and all that, really with a nice build here, sort of to counter all these sorts of heavy point holding builds, like we have bloody Fix Team running at the or Bloody Trash rather at the moment running. Check out the quarry though. It looks like we have a bit of a 2v2 happening over there. We're gonna Chunji at the moment, seeing how he's doing.
Back in the game.
We do have Fixie here getting dangerously low. He does have to pop his heals. And is remaining in this, so the engineers are having a bit of a tough time getting these elementals and actually having to step off the point there for a second because of that churning earth. They're still holding themselves strong into this, and it does look like that easy boss is going to be their next priority target. But again, the AoEs that come in from the elementals as well as the raid. Both teams, and I'm going to reiterate this a lot, both teams rely extremely heavily on AoE damage, in my opinion.
But I think it's the engineers have an advantage again on this with all the conditions they can apply and reapply.
Yeah.
They have constant pressure on the allies, and they need to use water attunement early, and then they don't really have any way of dealing with conditions. So, and they stand on point too often, in my opinion. They could easily rotate, but they're not doing it correctly, in my opinion.
I agree. I completely agree with that. And like we said, we're sort of seeking a combination of with the elementals where it's a lot of AoE burst in addition to AoE conditions, so it's not as strong, whereas the Rangers is just, or not Rangers, the Engineers is just straight up AoE condition pretty much for the most part. So there's really not a lot that needs to be done on point all the time with the contrast to the elementals where it does need to be kept within a certain range to you at the time.
They have to hit it once, their condition, and they have constant pressure because of the nature of the conditions.
Yeah.
As power damage needs to hit pretty much everything. They lack some form of constant pressure on the engineers, and with their innate, they're pretty bulky with the traits they run. They get protection on CC. They get they have and vigor. So their staying power is actually pretty great on point. Especially with the blast finishes and the water fields, which we discussed before.
Yeah.
So,
and now it does look like actually the elementals are starting to get a bit of advantage here at this water field fight. It's a little hard to call actually, just because of this particle effects mania we got going on here. Well, that's not right. Looking at Chunji now, really no way to tell. Actually, no, it does look like, and the elementals are going to cap it now. They have managed to push most of the engineers off the point. Platypus is going to be forced to fall back now as the elementals push onward. I'd like to know from Europe, do you think it's good that they push onward to middle, or do you think they should try to go around for Quarry again based on how the team fights have been going?
That's, I think they should push for Quarry, at least one or two guys. But I think the engineers made a mistake by overcommitting to Waterfall. If the allies are playing it right, they can gain the advantage in this game, or at least catch up in point.
Okay. We're seeing what's more no. The Elementals doing a pretty nice job, but they already knocked out Cat McKinn here, and he is going to be stomped because he was pushed into a corner. Didn't have a lot of the ability to help his team out there and support him, just because of the direct access to the down body there. Looking now, and it looks like the only person left up now is Platypus. We do have reinforcements up on the ledge here, but that's not going to be enough. I don't think Platypus will be going down here within the next few minutes. He's using his heal now. We do at the same time have Chunji taking out Bloody Trash here. It doesn't. I think Bloody Trash was sort of standing still there. I'm not sure if he was AFK or immobilized, but he is. They are going to lose that cap. Well, they are sort of getting an advantage here in middle now. Possibly may lose it now because we do have reinforcements from the engineer team coming in now. And again, the conditions all over the Elementalists. There's not a lot they can do about it once they use their cleansing waves. I said this before, and I was going to say it again. The cleansing wave is extremely crucial. In fact, Jin D over here is using cleansing fire now. I don't think he was using that last round, so they haven't even changed up their builds a little bit here to reflect the engineer's strategies.
Also, in my opinion, with the how they're doing at the moment, they're trying to train one target, but this sets them up easily for grenades. So they take a lot of damage in retaliation by just putting all their force on one target. If they split a bit, they could prevent a lot of pressure or retaliation damage coming from the engineer. Also, they should probably use the mobility a bit more and go for a decap on quarry, like right to the lightning set. They probably get the decap off and are back in the mid fight while the engineers need to recap their points.
Alrighty. So back here in the middle once more we have Jin D as well as Easy Boss taking a crap load of condition damage. Both Easy Boss was able to cleanse a lot of them by using into water form, and he is going to jump into water form here again and have access to easy heals. So the Elementals do have their cooldowns available for the time being, but they're using them pretty quickly here. Easy Boss may want to bring out that glyph of Elementals as well to bring them out some additional healing, which will be needed here soon if the engineers continue their burst combos. But it looks like the Elementals have adjusted themselves pretty nicely here now. Oh my goodness, that burst chain going on both those engineers.
Actually going for a decap now. That was pretty good. If he's just, he should leave now and just reinforce the mid fight again if he can.
Indeed. We're gonna look over here now at Fixie, who managed to get the decap off, taking on Dustslinger at the moment over here.
I don't think you should fight this though.
I don't think you should either, because it looks like they're about to get middle. In all honesty, they just knocked out one. I think they knocked out one. Yeah, there's only one NG back at middle now, and then back over here at the waterfall, there's still pressure as well. I don't think they should be pushing to this third point. They may be trying to buy themselves time to sort of retick capture points as well, but I don't think it's in their best interest considering how they've been playing this game.
He's pulling out now. That's pretty. Let's see if they can make. They maybe a bit too late. Otherwise, they could have gotten middle, I think. Because the engineers now managed to reinforce and they get one early down.
Yeah, in all honesty, had Fixie had not pushed back, they probably could have knocked out that other engineer in time and maybe even full cap the point before reinforcement showed up. So it could have proved a pretty big advantage for them. But unfortunately, because they chose not to, not only do the engineers control the quarry once more, but they've also lost waterfall as well and are now really being forced back because of that rejuvenated burst that came in through the engineers reinforcing.
Yeah, that's the overcommitment part I was talking about earlier. The decap was really good, but pulling out then would have probably given him or his team more advantage in this game, and they could have probably came back with that. Now they have a really tough time because Waterfall is getting decapped, or was decapped already, and they are in a tough situation in the mid fight.
Indeed. Back over the mid-fight, however, Jin D holding off as the last strain of defense's comp test has just gone down. He will be stomped, and Jin D will more than likely, with this 1v3 scenario, he does have some cooldowns available to him going into Waterfield. Now, he does not have his cleansing wave available, only his dodge or base of Arcane, but he's not able to use that in time, and he will get knocked down here and will be taken out within the next few minutes. Back over to Waterfall. The Elementalists have managed to recapture the Waterfall, however, but at the same time, Sir Kuroshi is still really there to help out, or is still really there to contest if he wishes to. Again, this is an issue a lot of them have been suffering. They're not killing the one who's aggressing the far point. They're only just waiting until he runs away and assuming it's safe, and it's really costing now because Bloody Kuroshi can re-engage this fight. In addition, he has the reinforcements coming in from Chunji now as well. And looking at it here real quick, Kuroshi, we're seeing this right here. Kuroshi just falls back a bit, waits for himself to rejuvenate, and then jumps back into the fight. No one's really, and this has been everyone that's gone up against him today, really. No one's really pushing him on, trying to finish him off. And they couldn't do it just in that scenario there because of the fact that they had others to engage. But in the 1v1s and the 2v1s against him, they could still push him on, and I think a lot of teams have made the mistake of choosing to not go for him and even trying to just harass him or maybe not even kill him. So,
also, what I feel like the allies are picking the wrong fights, in my opinion. They're picking fights that are not in their favor, and if they use their mobility again, more often they could easily get fights in their favor because they would get some free damage in, some air bursts maybe, or some fire bursts, and maybe even get a stomp before the engineers can react or reinforce.
Indeed. Just looking over here now at the waterfall once more, it does look like the engineers will be taking this one back away from the Elementalist, unfortunately. Looking at the graveyard, also looking to be in the engineers' favor as we do have reinforcements coming in, but both teams still holding pretty strong. The engineers closing in on victory here, only 110 points away. The Elementals still have a long way to go at about 270 points, I believe. But we do see some rejuvenated birds coming in from the Elementals. They are reinforcing NG Platypus, who is the tankier member of the engineer team, is getting knocked out here. Yeah.
Yeah, so much.
Because they all surround. They did manage to take him down, don't get me wrong, but because they all surround members of the engineer team, it really just proves as a chase target for Draco, who's sitting up here with the grenade kit, and it sort of just allows them to like throw grenades on them easily and just spread the conditions out even more. But it does look like, however, that they have chosen to come out on time. They have used their, and here comes the condition burst again, because they've all piled on the corpse. But it is allowing them, if they're using their cleansing waves appropriately, which I think they are doing a lot better this time, it does allow them to keep themselves in the fight and generally win. It's just a matter of, can they use them all properly, and can they, in the end, be able to take that much condition damage?
Yeah. They're also all sitting at 25 stacks of might, the Ellies.
Yeah.
So the damage coming from them should be insane.
That fire AoE blast finishers, man. They definitely have the superior damage, to say at least. The question is the positioning is the real kicker for them right now. So they did lose Quarry, however, another decap went off, but they have assessed complete control over the waterfall now. And only 40 points away. Assuming they don't decap, it's going to take them still about 86 seconds, or 76 seconds rather, to win this one. But it's getting pretty close for them. The Elementalists can come back, but they need to get 100 points in the next get 100 points really quickly here, and also go for the Lord Rush. So it's pretty hard for them to win this one as well, unfortunately.
Easy Boss should pull out on Quarry now. He's gonna lose this 1v1 in my opinion.
I think he's as well. Just the way he's getting knocked around way too much, and he's getting way too low. Doesn't have access to his air too, and so he's not going to be able to rush out of there. And it does look like these conditions may finish him off. Nope, he is going to switch over to Waterfield just in time and cleanse out with the Evasive Arcana. But going back over here now to the middle point once more. Still really a pretty even fight here in the middle, actually. However, like I said before, Engineers...
He just killed himself on confusion.
And as I said, he does manage to he did actually get back up there. But
they got a thump.
Yeah, because on NG Platypus it's not. But like I said, within the next 20 seconds here, unfortunately for the Elementalists, the Engineers will be taking round 2 as well.
As well, yeah, that's GG.
Yep, as we've seen there, Engineers take round 2 on Legacy of the Foe Fire, and now they're only 1 game away from winning. So now we're gonna go on Kylo, and I think, and I can't speak for the other games today, but will be the first game actually on Kylo today.
Just like that.
Yeah, that's true.
So how do you think this one's gonna play out here?
Again, well, they fixed and changed a lot of stuff where you can teleport to on Kylo, so at least we'll still have the advantage in mobility, but it's not as much as it was pre-patch. Also, I think it comes down to the trebuchet, in my opinion. It's going to play a huge role.
Yeah.
And I think if the allies focus more on the side points, they can have a chance at winning this, because Clock Tower is, and the way the point is, Bomb Engineer and Grenades will probably just kill them. They don't really stand a chance on Clock Tower, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so as soon as we get everyone in here, guys, round 3 will begin of our finals here today. Engineers taking on the Elementalists. If the Engineers win this one, they win it all. They win the finals, they win the glory, they win the imaginary trophy. But if the Elementalists win this one, we'll be going into a round 4 and possibly a round 5 if they keep themselves in it for the next one as well. So we do just have to wait real quick for everyone to get back into this. Once again, guys, you are watching the SOAC/Guild Clash, the European Profession Tournament, the first of its kind on Europe here. Be sure to follow their Twitters, which are linked down below in the scrolling sidebar, if you would like to keep up on upcoming events in the future and whatnot. And yeah, it's been an interesting day so far. Somewhat delayed because of some dropouts and stuff we had, but we've gotten there.
That was unfortunate, but yeah, that was unfortunate, but no, we're getting there.
We live on. We grow stronger because of these things, but
yeah,
we're just waiting for everybody to jump in and ready up. I think maybe changing builds because it's a pretty different map. So let me actually, I almost forgot. Let's actually go over the map. So once again, as with all Guild Wars 2 maps, this is a 3-point capture the point objective. For every point you do hold, you will gain 1 point every 2 seconds. Also on this map, very similar to Legacy of the Foe Fire, the maps are in a direct line pattern. One being located conveniently. Whoops, daisy. I keep clicking on that and it goes down. Anyway, one being located conveniently close to each team's spawn. Blue teams being the mansion, red teams being over here at the windmill, and we also have 1 point over here at the clock tower. Again with the secondary objectives, however, each team has their own trebuchet located conveniently close to their spawn. Red team's there, blue team's there, which they can use. It does take some time to fire, but it does a knockback, I believe 2-second knockback. In addition to doing probably depending on the character, a third to half again depending on the character of that person's health pool, so it can prove pretty crucial in team fights. But it is somewhat easy, assuming whoever you're 1v1ing. It can be countered as you need to go over there and take it down, and it can be killed. Also on this map, something to note, there's a lot more elevation on this map compared to any of the other ones, really. Any of the other ones in the main tournament rotation. You're going to see Clock Tower is actually located on the second floor of this building. Let me see if I can get a secondary view of it. Yeah, the point itself is located up here, so there's a lot more verticality, which makes it a lot harder to move between points. And again, it makes the middle point absolutely crucial if you want your team to have that mobility. Because not only will you be able to move between points easier if you control middle, in my opinion, but you'll also be able to see points easier as well. Who's moving between where, because you'll have that upper advantage, that upper sight advantage. And that is Battle of Kylo. So as soon as we get everybody in here, I think we do. So. Oh no, we have people on the wrong teams, but as soon as we get the last Elementalist on there now, and we'll get this started. The possibly final game here. This could be the game set match game here for the Engineers, if they pull this off again. I want to know what our audience thinks real quick, guys. Do you think that the Engineers are going to win this third one and take the trophy, or do you think that the Elementalists are going to win and come back into this? And as we now awkwardly wait for the 30-second delay to catch up. Oh boy, the silence. Alright guys, ready up. Oh my god.
They're trolling us.
They're trolling us pretty bad. Right now. It's kind of embarrassing, but
whatever.
We just won't say anything. Oh my goodness, where did he go?
Maybe you have to jump in for the Engineers.
Oh no, I don't even know I don't even know what the build I'm running is. I haven't played it since like late January.
Oh, that's been a while.
Yeah. Oh my god! Where is he?
Maybe just disconnected.
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so we have the votes rolling in. Azumir says NGs will bring the pain. Anyone else?
Jindy actually switched, I think, some of his utilities. He's running Cleansing Fire now, which is a good idea as it cleanses 3 conditions, and this is Sunbreak as well.
I think Draco does think he's running an HGH build now as well. No, actually. Oh, my apologies.
Last chance to nail down.
He's running a rifle build, actually, as he changed out his weapons there the last second. Rifle build with HGH. So this is going to be fun to see as he's last second changed up his build here.
He's running Berserker as well, so
yeah. A lot
of
burst damage here. Alright, so we're opening up the map now. The splits have already come out. We have 2 Elementalists that went for Mash over here. 3 more looks like they're going to be heading in the middle. No one going for cross. Cancel that. 1 more will be going for the cross, I think. Nope. Nope, maybe not. Back in the middle now, we have the Elementalists have gotten there first, but we have...
Blue team grabbed the capture point.
Engineers on a bit of a delayed entry. However, the Elementalists are also going to be using their trebuchet, I believe. No? Yes? No, actually, no one's using their trebuchet. We just have the Engineer going in to kill it before it's even a problem. Here from the middle, we have the knockback that just went off. Is going to give the Engineers a bit of an advantage. You're looking now. Seb Test, I believe, or Cop Test, rather, trying to do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, this is, once again, just really an AoE clusterfuck for, it's very hard to cast. It's really anyone's fight here. In the middle of the moment, the Engineer, or Elementals, are taking a lot of damage here from the conditions, and whoa.
Again, they're playing Scepter Dagger, and they're standing on point, and they take so much unnecessary damage, in my opinion.
The thing with the Elementals, though, is that they sort of, their range isn't that good, in favor, in terms of, like, in order to do, are you getting this lag, this spectator lag as well, or?
A little bit, but not that much.
Anyway. So I think they need to be sort of on the point to do a majority of their abilities. They can attack from range, but they're not going to do much, in my opinion. So
It's reinforcing now. I think they will get that time, at that point in short time. I don't think they can bunker that much longer.
I don't think they can either.
It's already low and being chased. Probably going to die now. Yep, he's dead. Under clock tower. And Fixie's fighting against Kuroshi on mansion. And I think it's about to get decapped. So not looking that good for the Allies. Okay, they actually reinforce mansion now to secure at least 1 point, which is a good move in my opinion.
Yeah.
Fixie killing himself again on confusion. He really needs to watch that. That's crucial against engineers.
Looking over here at the mansion now, we actually have Kuroshi holding off 2 members of the Elementalist team. Fixie is down as he did kill himself.
He might even kill both.
And
if he's like,
he might. I'm actually having really bad lag here right now. I don't know if you are as well, but
no, I'm fine. Kuroshi actually killed both.
Yeah.
Allies on mansion. He's probably going to get the full cap now.
He will get that full cap.
You know,
go ahead.
There's a fight going on in mid. They 3v1 now. They gotta stomp the Allies. They should get mid back. Oh no, they crashed that. They're reinforcing the engineer. So 4v2 now going on. They dropped rest elixir though. Let's see if they can get the rest on Dustling.
Yep, looking at it now, it does look like just here he's getting extremely low, and there is no one there to res it for his team. He is still in his elixir though, which has expired now. He's very close. They need to deal a bit of damage on there. Go interrupt that damage, and with those 2 Dragon 2s coming in, he will be put down. There is still AoE coming in though, and it may looks like this point may turn in favor of the Elementals. However, and should still control both side points, and there is no sign of contention as of yet. We do have 3 Elementals moving over to the mansion now. Let's take a look at that as Bloody Kuroshi attempts to hold that off. As we will see now, bloody Fixie trying to, along with Easy Balls here, trying to take out Kuroshi. Kuroshi actually looks like he's gonna move away from the point. More than likely, he will run around and rejoin it. Actually, maybe jumping into his stealth bomb here. That's
a really good move of him. In my opinion, the Allies are committing too much to clock tower. They should windmill is completely open, but I think engineers try to use the trap. They're trapping now actually. So playing for trap and maybe side piece. Should have been better. Oh, well, if they want to play for the midpoint, they need that trap.
Yeah.
They're trying to... I don't know. What they're doing at the moment isn't really working out for them. They need to change their tactics a bit.
There really isn't, or at least doesn't appear to be a really lot. There's sort of everyone's everywhere right now. There's not really any uniform push from either team, in my opinion. We do have the engineers currently in the lead at 190 points, and it does sort of look like we're actually gravitating over here on mansion now. It was a bit chaotic there. I couldn't really see where anyone was going. I think teams were both sort of wondering where they wanted to go. Chunji will be going down over here at the mansion, and a swift or a misformed stop will take him down. But Chunji will still decap the point from downstate, and I think Fixie just realized that now, so he is going to have to.
There was some miscommunication, I think, but otherwise, I think the engineers overcommitted again to that, and if they wouldn't have gotten the decap off, they were in a worse position actually. The Allies could have turned that around.
Indeed. So it looks like the Elementalists are going to push in a little bit discombobulated here, not really a uniform push, but we are going to see the Elementalists come in here for Clock Tower again, taking on NG Platypus here on the point. We also have Dustslinger as well as McKit here, pulling in Easy Balls, doing a lot of damage to him. 5 stacks. It was just 7 stacks of confusion on him. He's going to cleanse that. Keep himself safe for now. Over here to Cobb Test to see how he's faring off. He is going to get taken down, unfortunately. Moving him down, Oh, I actually sort of disagree with that. Moving himself into the range of the stomps for the red team. And we actually had the change in push there now, as we did see Bloody Trash.
3v1 Windmill now.
3v1 at Windmill now, as Chunji tries to hold it on for his team. And unfortunately will not be able to. He's going to have to rely on the incoming reinforcements here from Draco Dustslinger here in a couple seconds. But a Tornado Pop here is going to stop any chance of that. So the Elementals team will be taking Windmill as well as holding on to Match here. Let's actually go check that out. It does look like Bloody Kuroshi will be pushing this once more. Looking over here again, as he is 1v1ing and will be 1v2ing in a minute. So Kuroshi will be at a disadvantage. And finally we'll be seeing the Elementals be at an advantage here.
Yep, they did a nice split this time, but again, if you check on Windmill, they all trying to stand on point, and they take too much unnecessary damage, in my opinion. Especially against engineers that can use the grenades and then the bombs. If they would just kind of split up and have one guy standing on point, and just rotate on point with the cooldowns maybe, they could have a much easier time here.
The Elementals are still holding Windmill, however, it is about to get pretty close to a decap here, and Chunji has just gone out to his extremely low. Rez is trying to come in from Draco Dustlinger, and they are able to pull it off successfully. Nicely done by Chunji, and as well as Draco Dustlinger, not keeping him back. Bloody Kuroshi's going to come in. Engineers are all in onto this Windmill point now. And it looks like more than likely the next few seconds here they will be recapping. Actually, no, cancel that, because we have the 5th member of the Elementalist team will be coming in. Both sides really are all in on this point. Unfortunately, Jin D is dead, so it is still a 4v4. However, the Elementals are at an extreme disadvantage. Possibly
They
not.
might get a stop.
Yeah. They did get a
They
stop
got one.
on Chunji's.
Nice.
So 3v3 once more, but it looks like they're bailing out actually now. Despite that stomp, they are going to move away. 2 of them will go down in the process of trying to run due to residual conditions, unfortunately. And it does look like the 2 Rangers are trying to push it on middle. Now, I would not push for middle. I would sort of wait for reinforcements. We do have 3 ready, but it may not be the best timing here, as Engineers as well are going to push on for Mansion. It looks like Kuroshi will be going for that side cap once more. Looking at Platypus, see how he holds his burst off. Very close to a decap now because of all those seconds he was off points. If they're able to knock him off again, they may be able to decap this point. And it does look like, yes, they will be able to decap that point. Excellent job by the Elementalist there, keeping the Engineers down, not allowing them to give themselves that lead that they've been having these past 2 matches. We're definitely seeing a much better Elementalist team in this round.
At the same time, Bloody Kuroshi actually decapped Mansion though, so that kind of negates the neutralizer mid again, as the Engineers have 1 point ticking in their favor.
We are going to see Kuroshi go down here, though, as we do with the Elementals backing up, being completely safe with their close point. But we also have reinforcements coming in for the Engineered teams. The Elementals taking a lot, as we're seeing here again, by these conditions, because they're all on point, taking way too much condition damage than they need to, or way more condition damage than they need to here. So they are still going to contest this point. And Kuroshi, there's no one on there for the blue team, so he did manage to get a lot of cap points off in favor of his own team.
Red team wins a capture point.
And at the moment, Engineers are actually up 363 points with 2 capture points, which will only extend their lead that much more.
But Engineers shouldn't overcommit to that 1 point now, as it's really close to the Ellie spawn, and if they get caught off guard and die, they put themselves at a disadvantaged position.
Looking here now, and actually at Easy Boss, who has just
looking
gone.
pretty good for them at the moment.
It does, but the thing is now they've left themselves open on other points like Windmill over here. That's a free cap now for the Elementalist team, so they're going to get that back. There's only 1 person on Clock Tower, so while they are going to keep this point decapped, and it will extend the lead. I think it could be a misappropriation of resources a little bit here. If they do manage to knock out this Engineer team, it's really going to hurt them considering the safe position that the Engineers have right now. This may not be worth the risk.
Just like
in my
that,
opinion.
blue team takes a capture point.
Yeah.
So we did have the Elementalist team retake the Windmill over here. He is going to be 1v1ing for it now, however, just to check in on that real quick. Cat McKit will be taking on Jim D, so we'll come back to that in a minute. No one contesting Clock Tower, and other than that, it's a full-on 4v4 once more at the mansion, but the Engineers actually did manage, due to superior knockback ability, did manage to cap this point. It does look like it's going to get decapped by Trash here, though. Oh, nope, just managing to stop it in time. Bloody Kuroshi, they're realizing that at the last second, as the fight is escalated off the point. Look at, again, these conditions going on. The Elementalist, once more, really going to hurt them out here if they don't.
Tornado now, though, so they might get the decap. Oh, cancelled, and he's just pulling out now.
Yeah, they are going to shift their priorities now. Only 60 points, so the Engineers take this game and take the complete victory in this tournament today, proving they are the best class, sort of, on EU. Looking on now,
if they win this one game, they manage to win this whole tournament undefeated.
Wow, that's actually that's I just realized that as well. So I think we had that happen last time as well. So it's pretty good in their part. Looking at it now, Easy Platypus is getting extremely low here, going in for the stomp again. It looks like they're under a lot of that condition pressure. They did manage to take him down, but again, the condition pressure, they did manage to they did manage to cleanse it, however. But again, this team fight, they can't really contest this middle point, in my opinion. Like you said earlier, it's way too small, and the grenades and the bombs is just going to prove way too much for them if they choose to fight it on point like we've been seeing here. They did manage to decap it, but again, the mansion needs to be decapped here in the next couple seconds.
Nice updraft. Yeah. Nice updraft. They might get the rest off, but they still need a decap on Mansion, and I don't see that. No, I don't see that happening now.
So guys, I think we have our champions here. The Engineers. Cat McKit, Engineer Platypus, Draco Dustslinger, Chunji, and Bloody Kuroshi are your champions in today's SOAC/Guild Clash Profession Tournament. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to the Elementalists on 2nd place. Both teams pulled out a valiant effort, but the Engineers came out on top, so congratulations to them. They are our winners for today. and they will be giving all the fabulous rewards that come with victory today. So once again, congratulations to them, Cat McKit, Engineer Platypus, Draco Dustlinger, Chunky, and Bloody Karoshi. Alright guys, so before we sign off here, because that does actually sort of wrap up our events for today, we'd like to thank all of you for tuning in, as well as thanking Sitting on a Couch Gaming and Guild Clash for organizing today's tournament. They've done an excellent job of that. We did have a bit of hiccups, but managed to get through them anyway. It was a great tournament, and I also want to thank Patosai for jumping in last second and doing that casting with me. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, well, it was fun meeting here, actually. First time I did that, and was, yeah.
You did good.
Thanks.
And yeah, I think that is it. So once again, be sure to follow at SOAC Gaming and at Guild Clash to keep up on more future events as well. If anybody has... Well, nah, there's no questions to be asked.